Sony's PlayStation division is being sued for $5.9 billion, and this is not some haphazard, half-cocked class action lawsuit. It makes a ton of sense, and this was an inevitability. This was coming a long time. That's what she said. Let's get it. Alrighty, Stallions and Stallionettes, welcome to the Gamer Heaven. I'm your host, AK40 Kevin. So what is Sony getting sued for? By how much? By who? And does it make any sense? Well, this class action lawsuit stems from a topic that I have talked about extensively over the last 4 or 5 years. Well, primarily since 2018, when that became the only place that you could buy digital games for the PlayStation 4 and now 5. And keep in mind, Sony sells a digital-only console, so if you buy that model, you are only buying games directly from the PlayStation Network, which, surprise, surprise, I have covered in the past, charges 30 to 60% more per game than any other platform. And prior to 2018, this really wasn't a huge deal because you could go buy a digital code, which comes on a little cardboard card. You buy that at Walmart or Best Buy, and then you get home and you plug it in the digital store, you type in the code, and it activates the game. You can't do that anymore. You can still do that on Steam, Epic, GOG, Origin, Xbox, and Nintendo storefronts. But Sony has a definitive monopoly. That's the definition of a monopoly. The only place you can buy games for their console for the last 4 years, since 2018, is from their store. And it's bad enough that North American customers are getting ripped off 30 to 60%, but our brothers on the other side of the pond over there in the UK, the United Kingdom, are getting slapped 6 ways from sundown because Sony is not taking into account conversion rates for currency. So a new release PS5 game is $70 US, which is still freakishly expensive, but in the UK, after conversion, they're paying around $78 to $85 per PS5 title. That's too much. Sharing my screen, I have a couple of articles pulled up that will be cited or sourced down in the description below, as I do anytime I cover any news in the gaming community or industry. This is the actual class action lawsuit. The name of the URL is PlayStation You Owe Us, which is aggressive and right to the point. I like it. Did you own a PlayStation 4 or 5 between August 2016 and today? It is a fair bet that if you're watching this video right now, you fall into this category. If you are a PlayStation console owner and since August 19 of 2016 have purchased digital PlayStation games or purchased DLC in the PlayStation Store, you could be part of this claim and may be eligible for compensation at a later date. Now, who is leading the brigade is Alex Neal, a long-standing consumer champion. I had never heard this term before, and I was thinking, what the hell is a consumer champion? She is literally a hardcore advocate for consumers that goes after massive companies that have been ripping off or taking advantage of average consumers. She has 20 years of experience literally slapping the tits back on companies. And I will say she has structured herself a pretty darn good class action lawsuit. Let's take a look at the solidity of her argument. In the UK, it is illegal for companies to abuse their dominant position. We're talking about monopolies here. And as we know, the only place you can buy DLC, downloadable content, as well as actual games is from the PlayStation Network. Unless, of course, you're buying disc-based games, which is the primary reason that I recommended almost 2 years ago when we were at the heels of the PS5 launching. I recommended the Stallions and Stallionettes pop for the disc version if you could. I mean, if you could only get your hands on one PS5, the digital version's right in front of you. Just go ahead and lock it in. But keep in mind, you now have 3 to 5 years for the remainder of the PS5's life cycle, paying 30 to 60% more for every single game that you buy. I'm glad I got the disc version, even though at the end of the day, I buy most of my games digitally and get ripped off equally. So here's her key points. Sony has a near monopoly. Well, if we're looking at digital only games, it is a definite monopoly, not near. It's close. It's a close monopoly. Sony uses this dominance to enforce strict terms and conditions on game developers and publishers. Sony generally charges a 30% fee for game developers to post their games on the network. That's pretty steep. But then again, I think Steam is also pretty high, like 30% or so. And then Epic, Origin, and a lot of the other launchers charge minimal fees to developers. That's why a lot of indie developers that don't have a big budget will put their games on something like itch.io or the Epic Store. The estimated damages per individual over the last 6 years, so the time that you've been buying digital games on the PS4 and 5, is around 79 to 664 US dollars. Keep in mind, this is after conversion from UK currency, excluding interest, which is how they get that total of $5.9 billion. I genuinely hope that this class action lawsuit goes somewhere, but I don't think that it will. I do believe that Alex is in the right. I do tip my hat or give a little nod to the fact that she has 20 years experience battling companies in court. I don't think this one's going to go in her favor. Call it woman's intuition, call it spider sense. She's in the right here. This is a lawsuit that should have taken place probably around 2018 when Sony locked down their digital store and made it the only place to buy non-disc games. But I feel like Sony not only has the budget to fight this, but also there has been smaller litigation, no major class action lawsuits or anything like that. But I do recall Sony being sued for this issue in the past and it not going anywhere. But I genuinely hope that it does, and that the end result is that they lower the price in the PlayStation Store about 30 to 60% to where it is in line or equal with other digital storefronts. Now, I'm not saying that console games are going to start becoming as budget friendly as PC gaming, where you're constantly getting sales run on Steam. You don't have to pay for an online multiplayer service to play with your buddies. And since there's multiple launchers, like literally dozens of them, you can shop around and price check. You can't do that with the PSN. That's the whole point of this class action lawsuit, is they have a monopoly and they're taking advantage of it. It makes sense, at least to me, and I have half a brain cell. I think Alex is out there trying to do right with this campaign. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to yield the results that she's looking for. It should, but I don't think that it will. I'm going to go review some controllers now. If you enjoyed the video, liking it helps it to get seen by more gamers. This information will reach and assist them as well, which in turn helps me grow this little channel, which I do greatly appreciate. Subscribe for more content like this. I cover news in the gaming community and industry, tutorials helping you get set up streaming and YouTubing, as well as honest gaming product reviews, keyboards, mice, headsets, controllers, mics, chairs, etc. There are some hefty exclusive discount codes found only in the description of my videos and only for the audience here at Gamer Heaven. Check out Into the AM for some of the sickest looking and most comfortable cloth to ever grace my gaming giblets. If you don't want to be scorching your corneas with harmful blue light, check out Gamer Advantage, the only blue light glasses on the market that look sexy and actually work. If you're looking for a custom controller that'll blow the competition's tits back, AIM definitively has the best bang for buck or price to performance when it comes to Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch controllers. Nope, they don't do Switch, but they do gaming mice. I said doo-doo. I have links to all my other platforms and socials in the description below. If you need a quick laugh or blast of gamer adrenaline, check my short form videos out at TikTok. To get in touch with myself and the Stallions and Stallionettes of Gamer Heaven, join the community Discord, and check me out at twitch.tv where I go live every other leap year on a blue moon if it falls into an odd calendar number, and my pH balance is on point. Just kidding, starting June I'm going to be live streaming a lot. Thanks for watching. This has been AK40 Kevin hosting Gamer Heaven, and I'll see you tomorrow because I upload daily, all the time, 60% of the time, sometimes, most of the time. Peace.